Yo, right here. Yo, right here in the small box. Right here in the small box. Welcome back to Single City Reactions, only on the Flex Mind Network. I'm the original Anomaly. Welcome back to the channel. The pack out is not done. Yo, the pack out is not finished. Like, yo, are we serious right now? I thought I was done with the what's the dirt situation, but my boy has a response. I didn't even think about it, eh? Yo, I didn't even realize he would put out a response or anything. And then I heard he apologized, but I could care less about the apology. You know? But I want to speak more towards this response. The response is probably to the apology. So I'm kind of getting 2 in 1 right now. Because I don't care about the response. Or the apology, sorry. And mind you, this video is skipping the line right now because I have a whole plethora of videos to get to. So, yeah, let's not waste any more time. I have one more video to put out after this, and then we're going to call it the night. Just another 3-pack for today. Tomorrow, hopefully we can do a live tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. But for now, y'all know I talk too much. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the video. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the reaction. And with that being said, let's hear my boy response real quick, bruh. What does my boy have to say right now? Shout out to the company man. Come on, bruh. Big business, the company man right here. You know the vibe.
And like the company man said, it's just a more evolved form of what he was doing. That's all it is, right? As far as the fancy editing and all that stuff, right? And just the way that things are being explained. But at the end of the day, he was the first to do it.
Yeah. What are your
which
thoughts?
Which is a pretty crazy accolade.
Yeah.
I don't like you. I don't like you, Nick.
You see this guy right here? This is What's the Dirt. What's the Dirt is a YouTube channel that blew up as a byproduct of Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. Right?
Yo, Drake fans, y'all taking the biggest L in your life, bro. 2025 just started. Y'all already taking L's. Oh my God.
Right now, essentially, he's rap's greatest Google snoop.
Here we go.
A sometimes unhinged at-home detective whose truest value offering is forcing his myopic perspective on black people engaged in conflict. He knuckle drags his way down to his cave in Canada where he Google snoops on every girl that hangs out at Drake's house.
Why?
Pocket watches Kendrick Lamar's contributions to his community. And
why?
He investigates Whitney's sister. And
why?
Now he's graduated to counting the number of times Drizzy says nigga.
What do you mean by that?
Now, I called out Dirt in a video I made called What's the Dirt's Awful Drake Theory. It's based on a particular point in his Family Matters snooze fest where he belches out bullshit expertise on Pyru politics and speculates on Whitney having postpartum depression, weirdly admits to researching Dennis Graham's entire genealogy, which I actually think should be a crime, and offers a theory that Drake says nigga 37 times in Family Matters because he's 37 years old as a means to prove he's been black his entire life.
That makes no sense.
What's also really clever here
that makes zero sense. Yo, black people. Yo, black people, listen up real quick. If you listen to this man and you actually believe that bullshit, I'm gonna keep it a band with you. You can exit out the fence right to the right. Get the hell out the barbecue, bro. Get your ass out the barbecues. If you believe this bullshit, you're not allowed to come back to the barbecue. Go eat the potato salad with the raisins over there, because we don't play that here. Nasty, nasty, nasty work.
And he says the N-word 37 times on this track, and I believe his reasons for doing this is he's basically saying the word for every year that he's been alive to symbolize that he was indeed born black.
What did you say, nigga?
I'm so
and look,
dead.
I know this is all about culture and not really about race, but no matter how you spin it, a lot of the themes that Kendrick uses in his own music, Drake's family also went through, and that is his heritage. I went through his dad's entire genealogy. His family's from the deep south, right? They were
Shut
heathen
up, bruh. So you can't speak to this. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. As a Canadian, bruh, what is going on with us? Why do we want to sit here and try to like criticize like American culture and shit, thinking that we're better? We're not better than America. Let's make that perfectly clear right now. We have our own problems that far exceed America right now. And people really don't grasp that. This is absolutely amazing how this fool, this man right here, has the nerve to speak to all the things that he knows nothing about on a platform like his, thinking that he's spitting out knowledge for y'all, bro. The nerve of him. Who raised this man, bro?
Really had it bad, and you can't remove that blood from Drake.
Jesus Christ.
Right.
No
And he
way,
called it
bro.
clever too. Now, in my video, I argued the insanity of that position because it doesn't work for him nor Drake. If Drake really did that, then that's the whitest thing in the world and 100% supports Kendrick's entire point in this battle. And if Drake didn't do that and this bum's reaching, then that means What's the Dirt, as part of his research, literally sat in his cave in Canada and counted niggas in an attempt to prove Drake's blackness. Stop it. Get some help. Now, a number of you who watched my video noticed there was about 10 minutes of black space at the end of the original post. Well, that black space was all the things I liked about Dirt's Family Matters breakdown. Sure, it took me 2 days to get through it because it was laborious and felt like homework, but there were actual nuggets I appreciated. Here's a clip. But I think I see the reason in why it's so long. When he started talking about how this video was going to be 3 hours or whatever, I think most of us assumed he was just talking about the song itself, but he ends up breaking down Buried Alive freestyle, which was only posted to Drake's Instagram that most people hadn't covered, and that part of the battle is pretty interesting. It's interesting to hear his take on that. And then also, one of the things that he focused on in this breakdown is also things that were happening in the video. Things that were happening in the video. And so I can understand the length and detail of this track and why it may be more challenging than the previous editions of his
Yeah, I can't take you seriously, brother. I can tell for this whole segment, you're just like, let's just give him some grace. Let's just give him some grace, because, we're just trying to turn the other cheek just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I like this dude, bro. I like this dude. That's what's up. I'm going to subscribe after. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about it, my boy. I'll subscribe. You know what? For the sake of gaining subscribers, y'all need to understand, this all it take. This all it take, bro. Bell on, that's it. It's easy. It's easy. Just subscribe. Subscribe to the company, man, and subscribe to the Flexing Mind Network. With that being said, let's just get back to the video. All right, let's go.
And I think he does a really good job of analyzing the visual. He points out a lot of different things that I hadn't considered in the visual. One of the key things he points out in the visual that I just didn't even realize and didn't even think about was that in the Drake Family Matters video, he is crushing the van that was on the cover of Good Kid, Mad City. And I had no clue that actually wasn't the van. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would I take out the good stuff that I had already recorded before I published the video? What would make me do that? Well, that's because in Dirt's offensive Family Matters video, he decided to include a clip of me saying something positive about his channel without my permission. He didn't reach out. We've never actually talked on the phone or in person. He just did it on his own volition because that's what low-value clout chasers do.
Ooh.
Here's a clip. I'd argue that. I think What's the Dirt's probably the most exciting new channel in hip-hop right now. I guess sitting in your cave in Canada counting niggas is a lonely endeavor because What's the Dirt is desperate for validation.
Yo, sitting in your cave and counting niggas is some diabolical shit. This is how far removed Canadians are. And I put, the quotations on Canadians because you need to understand, I'm a Canadian myself. But I have love and respect for American culture with this black heart right here. I'm going to tell y'all right now. I live not too far from, Toronto and all that, But I still understand the culture we have here. Man, what am I talking about? We ain't got no damn culture in Toronto. I understand the people that we have here. Cool. Move how you want to move. But when it comes to that big country over there called America with all them states, you better leave every single one of them states alone. Because none of us can step to any one of them. And that's a fact. People here need to understand, America is superior to us in every single way possible. Y'all like to flex that free healthcare. That don't mean shit half the time, bro. Because look at everything else you got to pay for. Don't let that shit fool you. Alright? In America, they struggle. Yes, that's cool. But look what they birthed through the struggle. We don't struggle that hard here. That's why we don't really birth anything around here. If you come here and ask any Canadian about what their culture is, they're going to immediately start talking about the people. People's cool. But what is your culture? What is ingrained in your country that you can't rip out? That's the question that people need to be asking Canadians. What is ingrained in your country that nobody can take away? You can go to any country all over the world. You can go to the different states of America and see that there's different things in their states that you can't get rid of. The dancing, the music, the food. You know, your elders. Elders in every country, every state, they're all different. They're all unique. They can all speak to the heritage that they lived or learned. You know? Environment. You know, this landmark right here says this, for example. These are a part of your culture. We don't have that here. We only follow every other country, and we're just sitting here taking notes and like, oh, we can do this here. Or we can take what they have here and do it here too. Bro, we ain't got no culture here. We're frauds. So when I see this dude right now, I see a fraud. You know? Me? See, I gotta be careful now, because I ain't gonna lie to you. I was born and raised in Canada, absolutely. But let's keep it a full stack right now. And I said this before. Even though I was born and raised here, a lot of the television programming, a lot of like what we did outside, it was all similar to American culture. All the television that I watched, barely watched anything Canadian unless it was the news. When you go watch BET, that's not Canadian. And we watched BET egregiously. 106 in Park is forever my childhood. Remembering BET back in the day when they had BET Now on the weekends. You know? Or what's dude's name? Money Man from a long time ago. Big Tigger in the Basement. You know, like all these different programming on BET, like I was there to watch all of it. Learning about the rap culture that y'all have in birth. Dog, I can't help but appreciate what y'all have. You know? Same thing when you watch like the Family Channel, or when you watch Teletoon, or Nickelodeon, or the Cartoon Network. All these channels, like maybe take Teletoon off because Teletoon was more Canadian, but Teletoon had the American shows. But when you had the Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon and the Family Channel, bro, most of everything on there is American with sprinkles of Canadian, bro. I grew up with that. I watched the same television programming y'all watch. Dead ass. You know, we didn't have everything, but I watched what I could that was American. Saturday morning cartoons, best example ever. Saturday morning cartoons, I don't even think we had anything Canadian on there unless you're watching YTV. And even on YTV, there's still American programming. You see what I'm trying to say here? Because we are unable to do our own thing here, we're able to buy y'all programming and run it here. You know? So I want to take myself away from this whole Canadian nonsense, because I do my research. I watch the documentaries. I've seen everything that I needed to see. I'm not saying that I'm not able to learn, but my mind is always open to the heritage behind the black culture in America. Even as far as going back to the HBCUs, I'm Canadian. Canadians don't know about HBCUs. They say HBCUs and they probably think that's a gang. Bro, the historic black colleges and universities. Bro, I wanted to go there so bad, bro. Swear to God, dude. Ever since I seen Drumline. Now I know y'all like to rip on Nick Cannon, but I ain't gonna hold you. Drumline was kind of tough. Seeing all the bands and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, Man, I love y'all culture so much, bro. Like, it's not even funny to me no more. But y'all know I like to talk too much. I just wanna make sure, like, when it comes to dude right here, you know, you messed up. Let's keep it a buck. In all honesty, even though you're Canadian, you have to do your research. And I'm not talking about just sitting there and reading articles. You got to do your due diligence. Make that travel. Take that travel. Go to America. You know? I went when I was a kid. My family went there when we were kids. There's some family that we have out there. I went to California by myself for a week. Unforgettable. Shout out Complex Con. I hope to see y'all next year. Or this year, sorry. Bro, like, I'm there with y'all. Like, you know, like, the way that Deleted packed this dude up and got him out of here, I was agreeing with everything dude was saying. I'm sitting like, damn, bro. You better get his ass. But nah, in all seriousness, like, I want to make this clear. Canadians are very clueless when it comes to American culture. But there are definitely Canadians here that do appreciate what you have built and what y'all have set. So not all Canadians are like this, but I want y'all to understand, and I hope Canadians can understand this too. If you're going to speak about something you don't know, you better pray to God you know at least something, bro. At least you have some points that hit. Because if you're going to sit there and say a whole bunch of bullshit about things you don't know, you might as well go down the street and get hit by a car. I'm not saying he should get hit by a car, but I'm just saying in general, you know? Because it's just like you sound crazy. You sound foolish. And the untrained mind is going to sit there and believe this man. I'm not going to believe him. Because I've done the research. I've watched the news. You know? Not saying that I have done enough, but I'm telling you what I've done for the moment. I'm always there reading, learning, whatever I can, listening to the podcast, everything. Listen, y'all know I like to talk too much. Let's keep going, bro. Probably like 10 minutes of talking right there, easy.
He's thirsty for it. That's why you'll see him pop into any chat of any streamer who mentions his content. That's why he super chats academics so he can have a public conversation with his idol. And that's why he has 12 black voices clumped at the end of his videos, supposedly co-signing the product of his latest Google snooping endeavor.
It's a very well thought out video, and he did his thing.
I thought this was masterful.
I can tell what's the dirt analyzes. Not only that, but he listens to a lot of hip-hop.
This is amazing. That breakdown was dope, man. He did a great job, bro.
Damn. Shout out to the torture chamber, bro. Damn. Sad to see, and I know a lot of them YouTubers. I watch a lot of their channels.
I'd argue that. I think What's the Dirt's probably the most exciting new channel in hip-hop right now.
And that guy, What's the Dirt on YouTube?
Yeah.
I watched like a bunch of his videos.
Oh, he's dope.
He's dope.
Being on YouTube and like watching like What's the Dirt on, you know, the breakdown, I appreciate the Drake record a little more. That shit was fire.
Yeah, he was going to. Now, I don't know how Curtis King or Moni or Screwface or anybody else feels about him laundering their reputations in a video of him sitting in his cave in Canada counting niggas, but I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. Especially because my video that he clipped my positive comment from was actually critical of how he chose to market his then upcoming Family Matters video. He got caught by the internet trying to say that Kendrick was lying about Whitney from his cave in Canada, but actually got the album wrong and the year of the interview wrong. In his post, he used that evidence as an example of his objectivity because he doesn't know what words mean. He thinks being objective is covering two separate things the same way, even though they're different. The Celtics and the Pistons aren't the same just because both are in the NBA, just like a PlayStation and an Xbox aren't the same, even though both are video game consoles. The good one has Ghost of Tsushima. So my video, which is called What's the Dirt's First Misstep, I talked about the problems with modern media where armchair Google snoopers like What's the Dirt present opinions as fact based on their narrow perspective when actual real lives real lives are at play. I approached it in the fairest way possible, complimenting him on his channel and the anticipation he's built around upcoming releases, while offering some perspective that might help him or anyone else avoid jeopardizing their credibility. Throughout my career, when I see an opportunity to help passionate people with promise looking to advance in the field of human endeavor, I do my best to offer perspective. I also compared that specific section to Trap Lord Ross and Academics' Warren Chirac channel, but also stated I didn't believe What's the Dirt was a culture vulture. What's the Dirt wants to be Academics when he grows up, but I can't see that ever happening. Academics weathers a barrage of insults on a daily basis on multiple platforms. What's the Dirt crashes out over criticism delivered with kid gloves.
That is bullshit. That is fucking bullshit. Fuck this guy.
Either way, Dirt missed the message and leveraged my name, image, and likeness to co-sign his culturally offensive video. And I didn't want that to ever happen again. So during the edit, I decided to cut the good stuff out because what's most important is that everyone understands that What's the Dirt counts niggas from his cave in Canada. I'd say that's...
Yo! You keep saying in his cave counting niggas is insane work.
Is that everyone understands that What's the Dirt counts niggas from his cave in Canada. I'd say that's surprising, but what do you expect from someone who brands himself What's the Dirt? Names are powerful. I named myself the company man because that's how I felt working in investment banking, slaving away for someone else's tax break while writing about rap music on the side, dreaming of the day where I'd have my own company that was centered on my passion. Because I knew the term wasn't flattery in any capacity, I made sure I read and watched anything company man related, so I was prepared to rebuttal anyone who tried to use it against me because they disagreed with my opinions. That moniker connected with me personally in the aspirational and in the present. What's the Dirt's moniker makes sense too because he specializes in beef. He has 26 videos on his channel and 21 of them are about black people embroiled in conflict. Take a look at this page. You don't see his face. You don't know what he looks like. Who he is secondary to what he's promoting. Of course, there are almost zero white people, just a sea of black faces feuding. Hip-hop is a vast aquarium full of all kinds of fish, but Dirt only focuses on the black ones fighting. This is his chosen revenue stream. This is how he chooses to add value. This is how he tickles his own balls.
Wow.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
But after I challenged his ridiculous theory that Drake says nigga 37 times to prove how long he's been black, Dirt knuckle dragged his way back down to his cave in Canada where he counts niggas, dropped the mask, and went unhinged. Check this out.
Right, so enough of this bullshit. I'm gonna start clapping back at some of these people from YouTube online who are coming with baseless, stupid takes like this guy. But I'm not putting it up on YouTube.
First of all, for the nerve of you to take the clip of him and put it at the end of your video like you on some they trust me with their culture type shit. And then to come around and say this guy, well knowing that this man has a name. Okay. The company man is everywhere. Let's make it clear. Like, you know, like don't sit there and take and then turn your back and say, look at this idiot. Are you serious right now, my boy? Bro, like, no, listen, no. I can't believe y'all like this man. Because me personally, I could have cared less. I seen his page. I didn't see his face. I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't really care for it. I'm so glad something in my head said, don't click on that nigga video, bro. And to this day, I still never watched this shit. I'm not here for it. I don't want to listen to this shit. I'm so glad I had that feeling, bro. Y'all have no idea, bro.
Because I'd only be doing them a favor. Like, a lot of these guys don't have a lot of motion. That's like, they just don't, right? So I would be helping them if I put it up on YouTube. But what I will do is fire back on Twitter. So that's what we're going to do. Now, keep in mind, this guy in particular, when I was talking about Kendrick and breaking out Kendrick's lyrics, I was a genius. I was brilliant. I was extremely nuanced.
Yo, this goes to show you, yo, black people out there, stop giving grace. Hold your grace and keep it for yourselves. Spread your grace across the culture. Don't spread your grace extended past the culture. Don't do that no more. Don't do that no more. Because look what they do. Look what they do. No, you can't. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Like, my blood pressure, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's getting a little ridiculous out here. That's all I'm saying. Can't believe that there's people like this. You gonna take from the culture and you don't give your thanks. How you gonna take from the culture and not give your thanks? Ungrateful. Selfish.
His words, right? Funny how, now that I'm breaking down Drake, that has all changed, right? Now I don't understand the culture. Now I shouldn't be speaking on certain things.
Of course.
I'm always shocked when people in the comments, like the analysts, people who interact with the content that I create, the videos I put out, when they say things like, man, I used to watch you in middle school. I watched you in high school. People will tell me all the time, man, when I was in high school, I used to watch you every Saturday. I'm a doctor now.
Damn, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie. What the fuck happened to you? Anyways. So, my question is Justin Hunt...
Okay, no. Wow, I'm struggling right now. I'm struggling right now. Yo. The more I hear this man talk, the more I sit here and I have to realize, you have no motion. You have zero motion. Let's make that clear. Let's make that abundantly clear. You have no motion, brother. You have no motion. Hell, a lot of Canadians don't have motion, if we're going to be completely honest. Compared to the rest of the world, a lot of Canadians don't have motion. Let's keep it a full stack right now. The nerve, like... And it's our own fault because we put his name out there. We gave him the credibility. It's our own fault. Let's be clear. The reason why this is happening is it's our own fault. If we never shouted dude out, if we never subscribed to the content, if we never listened, we would never be in this situation. But because we continue to give grace to the wrong individuals, thinking that, oh no, he's on a positive vibe. I like him. He's cool. We can trust him. Why? What has he done for you to trust? Because he said some things that are right? Doesn't mean people are trusted. Let's make that clear. You know? To be honest, the people that are actually trusted more than him are the ones that still stand on business, regardless if they're right or wrong. If they always show up, if they're always attentive, if they're always raising their hand, if they're always asking the questions, doing anything they need to do to really understand whether the topic is culture or education in general, as long as you continue to show up, those are the people, those are the individuals that deserve grace. Because the more you show up, the more you listen, the more you ask questions, the more you try your best and be like not overachiever, but like go above and beyond, you will change throughout that process. And you will learn things that you would need so that when you conversate on your YouTube page, people will trust you more. Those are the people we are supposed to give grace to. But because we expect things to be perfect from the jump, like the rest of Canada, I have a bone to pick with y'all Canadians. The rest of Canada, we only expect things to be perfect from the jump. That's not how this works. You have to put the time into this shit. If you don't put the time into this shit, you ain't gonna be a real one. You're a fraud. He got his fame, and the same way how he got his fame, y'all ripped it back. It's our fault. It's our fault. And speaking of Canada now, the problem with Canada is we are too naive and we're too stuck up, and we really sit here and think we are better than everybody else, knowing that we are really not. I'm not saying we're at the bottom of the barrel, but every year after year, coming up to 2025, y'all, we've been declining, my boy. We've been declining in that raw credibility. But because a lot of people that move here or a lot of people that, you know, scam to gain their wealth, they're the ones that are at the top. And they're the ones saying, no, Canada is sick, bro. I love this place. This place is amazing. No, it's not. You're not the voice of Canada. You're not the voice of Canadians. I am not the voice of Canada or the voice of Canadians. Because I have a bone to pick with them. Canadians need to understand the importance of togetherness and moving as a unit, because a lot of us like to divide and conquer and think moving by ourselves gets us further than the people that move as a unit. It might take them a little bit longer, but I'm telling you right now, they will shoot far past anybody that does anything by themselves. Fact. If y'all were subscribed to the Flex Mind Network back in the early days, y'all know I started with a podcast, and a lot of people that you see throughout the podcast, they're a part of the network. I'm just in the forefront helping and pushing the network so that when we do our own projects, people out there across the world can see what we do, and hopefully they comment, they like, share with a friend, and we can gain more subscribers from how we promote ourselves. This is a Flexing Mind network. This is not the Flexing Mind reactions, or this is not single-seater reactions. This is a network. We have other things planned. It's not just a podcast. It's not just reactions. But we are trying our best to move as a unit. Because we know moving as a unit gets you further, gets you farther. The more likely y'all can be successful together. That's why when you see the AMPs, the RDCs, the Sidemen, any one of those conglomerates or those groups, you see how they're on top. And all the individuals are by themselves under them. You know, like, we really need to lock in as Canada, because if Canada really wants to be on the map, we need to support each other, and that's something we don't do. When I started my podcast, I'm not going to lie, we never got the support that I thought we were going to get. Because in my area, nobody really did podcasts like that at all. Especially consistently, week after week after week. That's what I did for a year. I did that for a year. Never got the numbers that I thought I would get. It's fair, it's fine, because, you know, a lot of people, it takes them a while to warm up to the content. Cool. But when I immediately started doing reactions, and I get the reception that I get from around the world, seeing people from Mexico, seeing people from America, Switzerland, the Netherlands, some people in India, like, bro, like, how come it's outside help I'm getting, but when it comes to the inside, ain't nobody looking or watching or supporting the content? I find it amazing. You know? I already accepted the fact that this is going to be a long video, because this is already 30 minutes and I've been talking. Let's just keep going, bro.
Or is he just dumb? People watching my content are in between the age of 25 and 44. For the most. 40%, 25 to 34. Middle schoolers and high schoolers aren't watching my content. So the whole reason and how you just framed your angle against me was fucking stupid.
There are things that Matt just isn't in the position to properly contextualize.
That's
like,
true.
What's the Dirt is a really great YouTube channel to me. I think he's from Canada too, if I'm not mistaken.
He is.
And so, like, his approach to it is super nuanced. You know what I mean? And
it's our fault this happened. It's literally our fault. This is what happens when you give grace, when you give them credits to the wrong people. He was never the right person to have that credit. You know, was a lot of the things that he said true? Probably not. Based on everybody's reactions to what this man is doing and saying. You know, like, it's unfortunate. We didn't even need to be here. I didn't even need to do this video. But here we are today, because I do read and listen to some of my comments that I see. I try my best to get through every single one of them, but, you know, it's tough for me. I'm new to this. You know, but I'm trying my best to show up day after day and make sure I provide for the people out there that are interested to watch the content. And I see people watching. I can only sit back and appreciate, you know. But I'm really trying my best with this. Day after day, I'm learning something new, but it's tough because when you have work or things come up in the day, you know, like, a lot of people say pre-record your shit the day before, but the videos that need to be addressed come out the day I need to record, so it's kind of tough. Y'all understand. Don't worry. But let's just keep going.
You can tell he puts a lot of heart and passion into it, you know, and I think he does a great job.
He had really zero.
Drake is half black.
Well, after hearing that, I want to just say, me personally, I don't believe I deserve the grace. But as I keep doing this, as I keep going through this whole like process and going through this whole system and understanding everything what it is for YouTube, because I do struggle with the hashtags. I really do. But the more I go into this, the more I understand this and everything else. I'm not expecting grace. Sometimes I don't deserve the grace. But if it does come my way, I have to sit here and analyze myself and not jump on the internet and say, da 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 da. You understand what I'm saying? Like, when you get something at a high regard, it's a stepping stone. You're not at the end of the road. You're not you know when people get to the end of the road, they're like, oh, finally, oh, Father God, oh, thank you, Jesus. No, it's a stepping stone for you to get to the next step that you need. And I know for what we have planned, for me, if I was to ever receive that, not saying I want it right now, because I feel like I'm still in a learning stage, but if I was to ever receive that kind of grace, stepping stone, take that step. What's next? Where do I go next? I don't even know where to go next. It's trial and error. Every step you take, you have to figure out what you're doing here. Think like every step you take is a story to a building, but it just takes one step to get to the next story of the building. As an example, I take that one step and I enter the hallway into the building. All these doors, some doors are locked, some doors are open, but the open doors has nothing in it. This is where I have to build, as an example. You know? What are you willing to do for this platform? It's a harsh question. It's an unfortunate question. But it's the question you need to ask. Because at the end of the day, this platform will pay you if you do well. So what are you going to do for this platform is the question. What other videos can you react to? What other topics can you talk about? You know? That's how you move.
Black, the other side of his family uses it. I have a fundamental rebuttal to that.
Just to tell you guys ahead of time, his rebuttal sucks. You guys see what he's trying to do here, right? He's trying to frame it like my content is fucking corrupting the youth or some shit. It's a slime ball snake move is what it is. It's snaky as fuck, slimy as fuck, completely wrong, but that's what he's trying to do.
He gave probably to his mom and said clearly his dad side of the family uses it. My family growing up didn't use the N-word. I made a whole video on my channel. I didn't say the N-word for 20 years.
Bro, I could kind of tell.
I want to speak to that because the disrespect behind that shows that he doesn't understand what he's talking about. If you have a child and you want the best for that child, the parent's job is to try their best and to not necessarily remove them from the problems of where they live or anything like that. That's not the goal. The goal is for the parents to show the child, as a black kid, as a black man, black teenager, whatever stage that you're at in life, it is best for you to move like this. If it requires you not saying the N-word for a numerous amount of years, then that's your job. You know? And you gotta remember with the outside world out there, because a lot of kids are raised by schools and society, they're not raised by their parents. For him to laugh, he thinks, oh, that's nonsense. They've been saying that since day one. You don't know. You might see it on the street, but you don't know about this one right here. So I understand what he's saying when he said he never said it for 20 years. Because there's parents that can lay down the law or set up an environment, a better way of saying that, set up an environment where a child wouldn't need to say that word Instead, they can articulate themselves and work the way around that word. That's knowledge. His parents are trying to make their child, him, knowledgeable. Not intelligent, because that's a different level. But if you are knowledgeable, you can gain intelligence. You understand what I'm saying? So for him to sit there and say this nonsense, I can kind of tell. Bro, you're on the outside of the fence and you want to come in so bad, bro. Stay in your lane.
I didn't say the N-word for 20 years.
Bro, I could kind of tell.
I didn't say the N-word for 20 years.
Bro, I could kind of tell. You see what he's trying to do to me there, right? He's trying to frame it like I believe every black person uses the N-word and every black family uses it. Now, I didn't think I need to put this clip in the fucking video, but this guy obviously doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to this. So let's look at why I would say that about Drake's family.
And I'm also like, I come from a family in Memphis, Tennessee, where it's like, it's just something we say to each other, you know, and it's like,
I personally don't believe this guy's really...
That's how you know, as a Canadian, he doesn't understand the state that he's talking about. This state, compared to Toronto, Canada, night and day. Night and goddamn day. Tennessee, my boy? Oh my God. Memphis alone. Memphis alone. I'm not trying to disrespect any of the people of Memphis. But my God. It is rough for y'all. That's all I need to say. It is rough for y'all out there. You know? I have a couple friends that live in Memphis that they tell me about what happens in Memphis. Not saying Memphis is Tennessee, but just as an example. But this is how you know. Yeah, cool. He has family in Memphis. He doesn't reside there. He was here in Toronto. How else was he on Degrassi? You know? There's levels. There's levels to this conversation that he's not at yet. Research. It's okay to look things up and read and watch things. You know, how else you gonna get that information?
That intelligent? I don't. To me, it's clear that he took the best Twitter talking points and regurgitated it into a video. There's also the fact that the last time he made a video about me, it did really well for him. So I see the play. But what he's trying to set up here and the shit he's trying to angle against me is fucking disgusting. It's snaky as fuck. It's disingenuous as fuck. And I don't fucking appreciate it.
This is a great example of getting lost in your own hubris.
He said this is a great example of me being lost because he assumed that I assumed that all black families use the N-word. And he's trying to peg that on me and put that on me. That is bullshit. That is fucking bullshit. Fuck this guy. So you see what I'm saying? He uses this middle school, high school thing as like the basis of his fucking argument, which is completely idiotic because we just looked at the analytics. So his whole framework there is fucking stupid. Stupid. That is what he probably means.
Is this unscripted? I have to ask, is this unscripted? Because you're saying a lot, but it means nothing. Like, you know, understand? You know, like, he's saying a lot, but it means nothing right now. Because, like, you go forward, then you double back. You go forward, and you double back. You go forward, then you double back. Get to your point, my boy. Because you're dancing around the point. And I feel like you want to say it, but you know you can't. And I'm sitting here waiting, hoping that he's going to say it. So I can respond, but hey, do what you want.
But, like, when you try to take words like that and reposition and flip it to contort whatever stupid-ass narrative you have, this is what you get. This is what you get. How?
He's hiding behind the curse words. He's hiding the amount of curse words that just flew in the past minute. He's hiding behind them. It's so easy to throw out. But once you take it back and you have to use your vocabulary, you will sit there and realize you never needed it in the first place. I don't think I really said anything that crazy or cussed anything like that yet. And even if I did, I don't necessarily need to.
How the fuck am I presenting things as certain when I preface with the word probably, maybe? You do know what those words mean, right?
Dancing.
Probably and maybe? It means not for sure. I reached for the fucking stars with Kendrick Lamar. Came with theories that like he was talking about the Kill Bill movie, when that probably might not be the case. Like, the most insane theories.
I hope you guys realize that there's literally a whole level that he's missing that he could say. I don't think he's going to say it, but there's a whole level that he's missing that he could say. Not saying it's going to sway the argument. It might be worse. It might make the argument worse for him, but I hope you guys see it. I really hope you guys see it. Because there's another level where he can go. I don't know if it's up or down, but like, ooh, man, I hope you don't say it. That's all I'm saying. The way he's dancing and throwing in the cuss words and all that, I don't think he's going to get to it. So I'm hopeful.
Possible, like reaching for the fucking moon. And knowing myself that Drake does and is good at taking dates and numbers and flipping them and using it in his music, why can't this pertain to Drake? Why can't this pertain to Drake when he uses the word...
Well, it's 2025. Drake's been put on Front Street, so yeah.
...heavily throughout the track. He uses it heavily because it is a rebuttal to Kendrick asking him not to use it. So when I noticed he used it that many times, I'm like, holy shit, he's really turning up on this song with his use of the N-word. Like, what the fuck's going on here? I did a quick Control F, and it came up 37 times. So that's pretty interesting. Now, am I saying it's a reach? It could be. But to, like, completely destroy me on it when I had my takes on 616 and you...
He really don't understand. He really don't understand at all. It's not about the process of you thinking about it. It's the fact that you thought about it. Knowing who you are and who he is and who Drake is. Do you not see the mistake in the play?
Euphoria were fucking 100 times more insane. Just proves that this is not a me thing. This is a Drake thing. This is a Drake thing.
Like I said, it's our fault. It's our fault this is happening.
They don't want to hear anything about Drake. Drake is incapable of doing this. Only Your Highness Kendrick Lamar, Jesus himself.
That's not what we're saying at all. And I'm glad he said that because I felt like he was going to say some nonsense like that. Let's be really honest. Because a lot of people that side with Drake be like, oh, look at King Kendrick now. Look at King Kunta. No. It's not about that. It's about your boy, Sixth God, Drizzy Drake, Aubrey Graham, got demolished in the rap beef of his career. What was on the line? His literal career. Everything that he did was on the line, and he never showed up. He never showed up one bit. Meanwhile, Kendrick is literally... How about this? I forgot who I got this from. I think it was from Wayno. Shout out to Wayno. I think you said this. But this is how the rap beef is best described. Maybe it was from Lecrae. I felt like Lecrae said this. I forgot who. Maybe one of the two, maybe someone else. I don't know. But this is how the rap beef was described between Kendrick and Drake. Drake was talking to the people. Drake was talking to the people, which is cool. The people are going to listen to Drake. But you're in a beef, As a pop star, you should know better. When you're in a beef, you don't address the audience. You address your opponent. Kendrick addressed his opponent in every song. The biggest mistake Drake made in that beef was to ever mention any other name. Because most of those names weren't even related back to Kendrick. What is Rick Ross going to do? Pusha T's barely related back to Kendrick in the terms of like, oh, maybe Kendrick took some of the bars and made it a little better. If you want to say that. You're supposed to focus on your opponent. The people will respond to you. Your job is to be here and the people be like, oh! That's the job of the people. That's why when Kendrick stepped out with Euphoria, the world responded. The whole world responded. You don't believe me? Just go through the reactions. The reactions prove it. You know? It's just sad to see. You had one job. Destroy your opponent. Because this beef has been boiling for years. This is not no little kid ha-ha recess type shit. No. This is UFC fight night. If somebody gonna throw an elbow, I hope it's gonna connect. And that's exactly what happened to Drake. Kendrick's elbow connected with that jawline. Left that hanging. And while that jawline hanging, bashed his forehead in. That's Meet the Grams and Not Like Us. How you get back-to-back twice? Yeah, cool. You went back-to-back on Kendrick, cool. But you don't understand. Kendrick takes his time, so people waited regardless. You don't understand who you're dealing with. Kendrick is already established. People can wait for him. He's not Meek Mill. He's not Pusha T. People can wait for him. It's okay. We can take our time. We don't have to worry. So you went back-to-back. Cool. That's great. Then Kendrick came back with Euphoria. And a couple days later, 616 in LA. What'd you do? Family Matters. Cool. Here come the double play again. Well, hold on. It's not necessarily that you went back-to-back twice, but the way that Kendrick dropped Meet the Grams. Well, no, he did. Think about it. He dropped Family Matters, and right after Family Matters, he immediately, not even 30 minutes. That's a record-breaking... Bro, you broke a record. I've never seen a response so fast. Not even 30 minutes you responded with Meet the Grams. Dismantled him in every bar. Embarrassed him. Kicked him out the apartment and threw him on Front Street. That's what you did with Meet the Grams. And the day right after, so he don't respond, you back-to-back him again and put out a club banger. Not Like Us. You demolished him. You studied your opponent. And you broke him down to his core. That's what you did. The man that created the back-to-back situation got hit with it twice. He got hit with it twice. Oh my goodness. How's the people feeling? The people okay? Y'all alright? Y'all good? Y'all still crying? That's okay.
Is able to do these types of things. That's what these guys think. You guys seen enough. You see what he's trying to do to me, right? And the narratives he's trying to paint. Like, he focused on that 37 years old thing because that trended on Twitter. That's how I know he lacks intelligence. Because he's focusing on one of the most minuscule, smallest...
Lacks intelligence, but you're the one cussing throughout most of the video. I don't know, boy. I don't know what to tell you.
Aspects of the video, but because that did well on Twitter... He put that in his video. But it's because he doesn't know what he's doing, though, right? This guy's a fucking snake. I'm telling you, fuck this guy.
Jesus.
So let me get this straight. You're calling this man he doesn't know what he do, and you're calling him a snake. Even though he came from his big channel to shout you out. Hey. I'm just here, okay?
Jesus. Now, I'm a naturally gracious dude. My grandmother, Ernestine Powell, rest in peace, she always implored me to move with Christ and keep an open mind. My mom,
don't turn that cheek.
Hunt, rest in peace, she told me to carry myself with respect, but don't be no punk about my shit. So that's why we're here. But before we move on, let's rebuttal his projection-laden bullshit real quick. Dirt advertised his Family Matters video by saying how easily Kendrick Lamar lied about his relationship with Whitney during a Breakfast Club interview. Yet in this situation, he says we should just believe Drake saying he grew up around black people because that's what he told whatever little kid he's talking to in the clip Dirt just showed. Now, if he had just included that clip in his breakdown, he wouldn't have to defend his position this way. Either way, but this actually means that the guy we've been showering praise on for his research didn't remember that we all watched Drake learn how to say nigga over the course of his career. Does this look like a guy who grew up with people saying nigga in his household?
Be like, yo, that's that nigga, you know know what I'm saying? Be like, yo, that's that nigga, you know what I'm saying? Be like, yo, that's that nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Also in that Crash Out video, which is never going away, by the way, he said that I said that he was lost because I assumed that he assumed all black families said the N-word. But I didn't say Dirt was lost. I said Dirt was lost in his own hubris. Hubris means arrogance, excessive confidence. Dirt doesn't appear to know what hubris means, which is why I believe, in my opinion, he ended up arguing some separate points he made up in his head.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
Also in this Crash Out video that's never going away, by the way, Dirt showed a clip of me giving him praise during a conversation I had with Friday Ricky Dread because he continues to sell a low-value narrative that people who don't like his Family Matters snooze fest must hate Drake. The only problem is,
That's real Biden of you. Hey, what's the dirt? That's real Biden of you to say. Don't like Drake. Then what did Biden say? If you don't vote for me, you're not black. Ain't that crazy? That's real Biden of you, my boy. And we know what he did.
Problem is, he had to write, when covering Kendrick, on the screen because I never said the word Kendrick in that part of the conversation. So that was a lie. I actually love his Kid Rock video, which he made way back before he started counting niggas from his cave in Canada. A third point from that Crash Out video that's never going away. Dirt really thought he cooked when he pulled up his analytics to prove me wrong when I said I was certain. I said it with my full chest that most of his audience is in middle school and high school. I was wrong about that. I was categorically incorrect per his receipts. And that's easy for me to say because I'm a fully functioning adult who doesn't cripple under professional criticism.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
But away from the fact that more than one pair of eyes can watch a screen at the same time, or how parents let their kids watch things on their iPads to keep them busy, or how young people often make fake accounts with fake ages for more mature access, I was shocked. It felt like the majority of our audience at Hip Hop DX, were young people because our analytics said the same thing too. They said the same thing as Dirt. I was trying to send the message that having an audience, any audience, especially a large audience, is a responsibility. He processed that as me saying that he's corrupting children, which I firmly don't believe. And if I did believe it, best believe, I would have made that point loud and clear. But Dirt is so lost in his own hubris that he can't admit that it's his fault. His fault that his most recent piece of work doesn't hit the same as his previous releases. And he's running around playing the victim in everybody's comment section. People told him weeks ago that 3 hours was way too much for Family Matters. He was so filled with excessive self-confidence, which is what hubris means, Dirt, that he didn't seem to consider that he probably would have had more success if he just split the Buried Alive Part 2 portion of the conversation into a separate video, which might have had a similar effect as his 616 in LA video, since neither of those songs are available on streaming, so it would have been fresh discovery for people not following this every day on YouTube. He didn't do that. He thought he could pull an FD Signifier. He's not FD Signifier.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
And most egregiously, the guy who has a reputation for spending all year calculating brain-exploding nuggets of new information like the tow truck company that shipped the van that really wasn't the van on the cover of Good Kid, Mad City cover, or meticulously clocking Dennis Graham's DNA, Google snooping his way to YouTube fame off the power of rap's greatest rap battle, still doesn't seem to comprehend what's really going on. I don't know how under any circumstances that after watching the Shakespearean Shakedown Kendrick laid on Drake's 100 gig head top and the cultural response to Drake saying he's rapping like he's trying to get the slaves freed, Dirt thought that he was the best voice to reveal brand new information that Drake said nigga 37 times to symbolize how long Drake has been black. How can a person peer into the nuances of this battle for so long and still not be able to shield himself from the predictable backlash to a white guy sitting in his cave in Canada and counting niggas? That's why I say Dirt is lost in his own hubris, because to me, that's the most lost.
See, me personally, I understand what you're saying, but I like to simplify things, because the thing about this is that a lot of people out there, you guys, there's so many different words for so many different things for so many different situations, your head gets full. You know, your head gets full. It gets tiring. You know, you get annoyed. That's why people turn off the internet. That's why people love going for hikes. That's why people love just disconnecting from technology. There's just too much. When you simplify the situation, all I see is someone that really wants to climb the wall to the side of the culture, but knows if he climbs, he will get electrocuted and thrown back over on the other side. He won't get shot. He'll get electrocuted and thrown back on the other side. Why? Because you're not of culture. You're not of this culture. You can learn all you want. You might get through the front gate when you learn everything you need to know to be a part of the barbecue, but best believe you're not really a part of the barbecue at the end of the day. That's with all honesty. Now, there's some outliers out there, absolutely. But I'm speaking overall. I'm speaking collectively. The percentage is too low for the outliers to be ignored or to be to overshadow the majority. It's too low. You got to see it as it is. Will people slip through the cracks? Yes, cool. But face value, looking at this straight, you're never going to get on the side of the culture. You had your fame. You had your grace. Grace period done. Let's see what kind of motion you got now.
Logical justification. I mean, think about this. Dirt has spent months breaking down Family Matters and fell into the exact same traps as Drake. Exact same traps as Drake. He says this video is going to age well in the future. I think he's predicating that on the allegations part that Drake has levied at Kendrick and Whitney. He has to remember, this video still has him sitting in his cave counting niggas. But now that you mention it, Dirt, you are actually lost, though. Not in your soul or spirit or as a person or as a YouTuber. You still have a promising career, I'm sure. No, lost like that popular 2000s TV series about the people who crash landed on that deserted island. It started off fire, but in the end, turned out to be a confused mess no one respected.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
I'll be honest, if I was a Drake fan, if I was Team Drizzy, if I was one of these Team Drizzy people showing up in my personal Twitter account after all this stuff been blowing up the last 2 days online, telling me that I'm biased because I don't cover Drake the same way that I cover Kendrick, well, again, the Celtics aren't the same as the...
There's not much to cover! How is Family Matters get a 3-hour breakdown, knowing that it's only going to take 2 minutes to get to every point you need, and say, okay... Song done. All right, what's going on to Meet the Grams? 45 minutes? What are we talking about? It'll take probably 45 minutes for someone to explain everything in Family Matters. Or, sorry, to explain something in Meet the Grams. My fault. My fault. It's been a long video. Please allow me. It's going to take someone a long time to explain everything in the Kendrick Lamar tracks during that beef. And the funny thing is, Kendrick dumbed himself down to our level so we can understand what he's saying. And there's still Easter eggs. There's still the sneak disses, the entendres, double, triples, quads. Like, he's a wordsmith. For him to win a Pulitzer Surprise Award, he is a wordsmith. It's like he's the creator of words. Because look what he did to put the words together so well. And for all these different bars, all these different verses to mean so many different things is insane.
The Pistons, so I'm not going to cover them the same. I have biases, and I'm willing to lean into them. There are certain things I'm clear.
You don't even need to be a bias to see what's clear. If you were to go through the tracks and analyze these tracks, and go through these tracks and analyze these tracks, the scale is tipped, bro. The scale is tipped, you know? The scale be moving, but eventually, it's going to be clear. That's all it is.
Clearly biased about, and the stuff that came out in this battle, from a culture standpoint, top of the list, dog. Top of the list. I'm sorry. I just see it a different way. I'm a different person than you. It's all good. But I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed if I was one of y'all who really love Drake. I would be pissed as hell at What the Dirt. What's the Dirt in his 616 in LA breakdown, I'd argue, did more to effectively spread all those uncomfortable, unfortunate narratives against Drake than almost any other YouTuber. And now he soiled his Family Matters Matters video so badly that people are debating whether Drake is counting niggas to prove his blackness. No matter how you slice it, that's malpractice.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
And that's why I decided to cut out the good parts from my Dirt's Awful Drake Theory video, because in 10 or 15 years, when kids today, middle schoolers and high schoolers today, wherever they are, when they grow up and they look back at this battle and they want to see what's going on, there needs to be at least one other video letting them know that counting niggas was not a part of hip-hop in 2024, nor something...
Like, like, I find it so... Like, do you not understand what he's saying with the whole counting niggas shit? You sitting in your cave counting niggas. Oh, there's 37 niggas in this song. Bro, really? Really? With your white ass? Are you serious? Did slavery not exist, my nigga? Like, what the heck?
Foreign rap songs. I need them to know that that was some dumb shit some arrogant douchebag sitting in a cave in Canada came up with because he's thirsty to reveal new information, even if there is none or no relevance. And he's willing to disrespect the culture, the artist, and himself in the process. Dirt also said I had no motion in my unhinged diatribe and decided he didn't want to put it on YouTube because he didn't want to help me out. He laughed when I said I wasn't raised in a household where N-words weren't allowed, and then doubled down for a few days online calling me Carlton Banks. Then he bounced around to every streamer, large and small.
I hope a lot of people watched the video, the last deleted video I did about this whole situation. I think I explained the whole Carlton Banks thing. Just because Carlton Banks is the way that he is doesn't mean that he's white. Maybe, is he whitewashed? Maybe. In some situations, some might consider yes. But overall, that is a different side of black culture. That shows the prestigious side. It's not superior, it's prestigious. That shows the knowledgeable, the intelligent side of black community, of black culture, of black people. You know, like, as much as we have all the ghetto at the bottom, the ghetto sprinkled all over. But the way Carlton Banks moves in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it's prestigious. It's what people like to see. That's what they want to be in their company as an example. They want the person that can articulate themselves in a certain way so that when you're going to go up against somebody or have those meetings or you're going to pitch an idea, people want to hear that. People want to listen to that, you know? And for you to sit there and say, he's like Carlton Banks, and what are you? Because you've been cussing. You barely finish your sentences. Who are you as a person then? That's my question to you.
Small to plead his case and that he didn't mean it with racial undertones, and just about everywhere he went, his bullshit was rejected. 9-second applause.
Oh my God.
Honestly, I think Dirt should step away from this for a little bit. I think he's way into the weeds. I think he's looking at everything in life through the lens of battle rap because he seems really paranoid. He looked at a video that provided professional criticism and spazzed out online, straight crashed out. And whatever he thought I was accusing him of, whatever way he thought I was trying to make him look, he ended up doing to himself. To himself. And honestly, that's the best feeling in the world. I mean, look what I've done already. I've talked about him on multiple platforms, multiple interviews that I was doing, giving him compliments. I championed his Kid Rock video. I personally believe I'm part of the reason it's even back available because it really is good. I tried to offer insight in 2 of my videos leading up to Dirt's craptastic release of his craptastic Family Matters video. Sharing perspective I've gained over my years doing this, and I thought it would hold some weight because I literally pioneered the video essay space in hip-hop. That's not conjecture. That's literally, it was me, Ak, and Roller Clip James fighting for long-form conversations at DX at a time when short-form conversation was the rule. Dirt knows that. That's why I put that clip in the beginning of the video. Then here comes unhinged What's the Dirt, spiraling online because his paranoia, his myopic view of the world, and this...
I mean, he's doing the same thing Drake is doing right now. Spiraling.
Focus he has on being the most nuanced and detailed guy putting up battle rap videos thought I was trying to paint him as a racially insensitive YouTuber who's corrupting kids. He tried to disregard me as some guy on another channel describing things I see online. He tried to belittle my labor, my passion, my existence, my blackness loudly and publicly. And fortunately, because I'm blessed enough to have been dedicated long enough through all the tough times and all the moments when I was ready to quit because I didn't feel like what I was saying actually made an impact anywhere. All of you guys, all y'all in the culture came to bat. And I didn't have to say anything at all. I didn't have to say anything at all for him to get the fucking point. Dirt doesn't have the care and grace and wide-ranging knowledge of Professor Sky. Dirt doesn't have the tone or temperament or ability to translate complex ideas into captivating 3-hour video experiences like FD Signifier. Dirt doesn't have the resume or reflexive knowledge of hip-hop or rap music to do line-by-line breakdowns on the fly like Rob Markman. Dirt doesn't teach his community about the nuances of the music industry and offer ways to help improve their lives and careers like Curtis King. Dirt doesn't have the cultural nuance to compellingly tackle any topic like Deleted. Dirt isn't even the best from his country at providing insight. Dirt doesn't actually get direct sourcing nearly as often, with nearly as much range. Dirt isn't Jeremy Hecht. What's the Dirt is a grade A, 100% unhinged coward who loudly disrespected me publicly, questioned my blackness multiple times, then quietly DM'd me an apology on the side at 12 a.m.
Ooh-wee! Yo, let's read, guys. Let's read. Hey, Justin. I truly wanted to apologize for coming at you sideways like that. The video I made about you was made in anger. I feel like I just took all of the hate that I was getting, and projected it to you. I was actually really excited when you shouted me out and even posted a clip on my personal Facebook. I know you're good. I know you're a good guy. I just felt offended with a few things in the video, but regardless, it didn't warrant the response. My girlfriend tried to stop me. Boy, you should have listened. I think I was just frustrated with the backlash that I directed it towards you. I might not want to ever talk to me again, but I do want to say I'm sorry. I would also like to say sorry for the Carlton comment. I wasn't trying to question your blackness at all. I just meant you're more straight-edged. Sure. Okay. Is this ChatGPT? Let's keep going. That was also another comment made in an unstable state. I would love to talk to you on the phone if you'd be down. I would totally understand if you didn't, though. Get packed up.
Days after his credibility-killing crash out. The point is this. Don't compare me to What's the Dirt. We are not the same in this conversation. I've built a fortress in this space through compassion and dedication over the past 15 years. A fortress that's been tested against enemies of all kinds, including myself. What's the Dirt is a 2-year-old algorithmic success story who has now graduated to counting niggas from his cave in Canada, who tried to tarnish my name publicly and loudly online while still laundering my reputation in his Family Matters video. Clip my face out that weird-ass breakdown too, man. I'm serious. You don't know me. Don't associate me with none of that bullshit. And to everybody else, it's all happening.
Let's go! Hey, what the dirt? You better do what he said now. That's what I'm talking about. I think that's it to the video. Wow, look at the team. Look at the team. And you try to... That's not a fortress. That's a country. Like, what? He even has a Kendrick. Like, yo, leave him alone. Leave him all the way alone, bro. Let's get... Hey, focus up, man. Right here in the small box. Damn. Listen, it's a long video. I might slip up a lot of times, okay? It is what it is. But, wow. An hour and 14. Yo. Lord have mercy. This is a podcast. This is a whole ass podcast. I'm gonna keep it a stack. But hey, I'm here. I learned. Damn, that was good. I survived that. How the hell I doubled the time on this? Nah, I put 45 minutes on this. Listen, these are my thoughts. I don't know if y'all are even gonna watch this because this is long as hell. But I hope you enjoy it some way somehow. This is single seater reactions. We're going to react to things. Now, will I necessarily react to another video this long again? Who knows? Probably not. But if it's worth it, I'll do it. Okay, bye. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Take care. Be well. Be safe. Stay true. Be you. Live long. Long live. And peace. Shout out to the culture, bro. Real talk.